it's a good thing. And I hit my Ariana Grande button. I had that on the dashboard for my terrorist bombing podcast. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, but it does remind me I do need to jump into a quick, and I mean super quick, commercial. Okay, you guys hear me talk about Next Sugar. I realize that I did not tell you where to get Next Sugar. It is available on Amazon, but I would go to next-sugar.com and you can order it through our website. And I don't know if there's a link as of yet to Amazon. The reason I say go to the website is because it is kind of hard to find it on Amazon right now, because like anything else, you start at the bottom. But if you type in Next Sugar under groceries, you may want to type in Nextella with a K, Nextella as well, because that's one of the names that we manufacture it under. That's another product that we sell, and that is available at nextella.com. That's Next with a K. And that's also a healthier version of Nextella, or Nutella. It's a healthier version of that. It's palm oil free and all that good stuff. All right, guys, we are back. So, what are we doing here? Yeah, the thing about you graduating is you're going to have your degree, and you're going to whether it's you just graduated high school or college. I think the biggest thing that people miss is you want to live your life now as much as you can without sacrificing too much. It's always a constant balance, because if you're moving, I think, let's say you're moving to the East Coast and your family's on the West Coast, and you're going to miss out on a lot. You should calculate these things, because like your parents, when they're gone, that's it. And at the end of the day, you're going to spend your money, whether you're putting it in a 401k or whatever. You're still going to spend. It's still going to go somewhere. It's not going to be in a big pile in front of you. And what's the 401k for? Well, so when you retire, you could spend money with family, right? And you're thinking, oh yeah, well, with my kids and stuff. Well, guess what? What about when your kids graduate? What do you want them to spend their time on and their money? So you really need to think about what's important, and your kids are also going to see what you're doing, and they're going to emulate the same thing. So my advice is, if you could do it, if you could pull it, I'm not saying don't travel, don't do things, but all things being equal, if you don't have to be a stranger for a couple of years, and then let's face it, if you move across the United States, let's say you find your love of your life there, and then you get married, and then now you're a stranger, because like I said at the beginning, you're friends with whoever you have the same hobbies with and whoever you're close to. And close doesn't always mean family tree. It's also your geography, as much as anything else. So in my opinion, it's just, if you could do these things, and then you talk about, the school, you got to have the great school. And, well, yeah, if you go to a big school, sure, there is let's say I went to Texas A&M, and now they have a great network. If I have a Texas A&M hat and I'm on vacation, somebody sees that, oh boy, I'm going to have a buddy and they're going to help me out, or I can get a job here. And sure, that is true, but like Prager always says, life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And out the gate, if you can get in, once you're good, that will speak volumes, and it'll speak better than having a graduate degree from a very prestigious school. The fact that you have a resume at work, look at all the things you did at work, look at what you achieved. You've accomplished a lot of things. You helped the company grow. Your secret, is no longer a secret. It gets out, and I think that that part of it is not only nice for the for you making more money. You also spend less money. If you could go to a state school and spend a lot less, well, guess what? Now you don't have essentially a house payment right out of school when you start working. And a lot of people are complaining about like getting these MBAs. I just read a book on it, and the guy's like, okay, if you go get your MBA, let's look at the statistics. Oh, people that get MBAs make a lot more money. They go to Harvard and like blah, blah, blah. Well, you got to remember, who's going to Harvard? Smart people. So to say, otherwise you don't get in, and they're firing on all cylinders because they get all the tutoring, and they start out at a young age at the Montessori, and so you're not comparing apples to apples. All things being equal, okay, yeah. Is it as good as what people are saying? Because now you have, okay, this person is making more, but like I said, he's probably got a little bit better brain for these types of things, taking tests. That's why he's there. And then the other thing, this is such an important point, is I don't know what it takes to get an MBA, 6 years or whatever. If you took those 6 years and you were in business for 6 years, now compare it. Don't compare it to the person that is just working at McDonald's for 6 years. I'm talking about somebody that is trying to start their own business, and McDonald's that was probably a bad example. Because if you move up through the ranks of McDonald's, their management system, that's a highly valuable asset to go to a company and find out how they train people. I worked at the Red Cross for a while and went through their system of educating, and I implemented a lot of those in my company, the stuff I've learned. And maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I signed a confidentiality agreement, and my phone's ringing. It's the law firm of Jacoby. Oh, they're suing me already. Damn. Anyway, so yeah, it's a great tool for learning. A friend told me one time, he's all, one nice thing about going to a different company is you find out how a different company works. So yeah, there is that thing. Again, to work for one company, it's great, but there's always a benefit in doing other things. So if you do tend to have a resume that's a mile long, it's not always a rap sheet that's a mile long, especially if you're going to work for yourself. You have a lot of different input, and you can apply that as you go through life. So in my opinion, it's just, yes, there is that route to go, but I think if somebody is a star and they are going to shine, that they are going to wind up there eventually at the top. You do not have to go through an Ivy League school with the Ivy League education, diploma hanging on the wall. You can have a Bryman College certificate on your wall, and like mine is, what was interesting is, as an employer, you could print up whatever you want. And I'm thinking, nowadays, a lot of stuff I do online. I think I got one of my certifications for operating heavy equipment. I think I just did it online just because that's what people wanted, and that's what they wanted. Okay, here. But, what if I would have spent a ton of money and went to some really fancy school? But what happened is, since I was probably 16, I've worked like the heavy lifts and everything else, so I was already good. I never felt like I really needed to have this. So when I did need it, I just needed the minimum certificate. And when I got that, okay, I got some jobs because of it, because they required it, but I'll, put my safety skills or my skills at working lifts and against anybody, just because I did it a lot. And I can get any job and I can bid them, and I could use an X-Acto knife on my bid, and I can tell you exactly how long it's going to take, and where some people might go overboard and get the wrong equipment because they're worried that an inferior piece of equipment won't make it. So that's what life is. That kind of experience. It's just getting in there, focused on whatever you're doing, learning, and just doing your best, and then things will tend to sort themselves out later on. There's probably so many people that started out wanting to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, and just wind up being a tiler. And then if you got a brain for managing people, then you could start a big company. And I know wealthy people in every industry, and the doctors tend to be the ones that had doctors' offices. But guess what? At that point, they're just a businessman. Practicing medicine is a small part of it. If you apply those same skills, you could do that with literally anything. I mean, literally in America, anything you want to do, you could do. Literally, it's just it's almost guaranteed if you're willing to pay that price. So, it's not a race that you have to do it right now, but it's just you got to set your sights on the future. The farther you could set your sights and say, okay, this is where I want to be in X amount of years, and then if you could just reverse engineer it and say, okay, right now, what do I have to do to get there? Just start doing that work. And just to kind of recap is, get your job, whatever it is, and then just learn. Just have a good attitude, learn. And if you find a better job, just go to that, learn. And find out if you have to make money, you can, like I said, you find a job that it pays great, is not not very desirable, but you will get better at it, just to kind of you can enjoy your youth. You're making a little money, get a nicer car, you could have your freedom to go places, and don't settle for an easy job that's just going to keep you at home all the time on the couch. Live a little. You're young. You don't have kids yet. You could do your thing. And eventually you just work up. But always remember that your happiness isn't always what you're going to hear your peers and maybe even the speaker that's giving your commencement speech. Maybe it's just what's around you right now, your family and your friends. It's just doing that at a more fulfilling level. And that it's just, you got a brain, use it. You got muscles, use it. You got a mind, use it. But use it to of course benefit yourself, and also again just to be salt of this earth.